Hello, chosen soul. If you've arrived at this video at this exact moment, know that it wasn't by chance. There's a deep and divine reason for you to be here, especially now, as we approach the last 3 days of August. Have you been feeling a strange restlessness lately? A sensation that something grand is about to happen, but you can't define exactly what? Perhaps you've experienced more vivid dreams, synchronicities that seem impossible to ignore, or an inner urgency that you can't explain to anyone around you. If you're nodding in agreement, then you need to understand that this agitation in your spirit isn't common anxiety. It's your spiritual system being recalibrated for something extraordinary that's coming. I know exactly how you feel because you're not alone in this journey. Thousands of chosen ones around the world are experiencing exactly the same signs at this moment. This restlessness you feel is actually a divine gift. It's the Creator preparing you for a new dimension of your purpose. You're not going crazy, you're not imagining things, and you're definitely not being dramatic. You're being prepared for something that will completely transform the trajectory of your spiritual life. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal why the 29th, 30th, and 31st of August represent a critical spiritual portal that demands a specific response from you, and why silence will become your most powerful spiritual weapon during this period. If you feel this message was directed specifically to you, leave a comment saying, "I am chosen." Let's create a chain of positive energy among all who have been called for this unique moment. Let's dive deeply into what it truly means to be chosen at this specific moment in spiritual history. When we talk about the last 3 days of August as a critical spiritual portal, we're not talking about an arbitrary date or a cosmic coincidence. We're talking about a moment when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds becomes thinner, creating a unique window of opportunity for those who possess elevated spiritual sensitivity. You, as a chosen one, possess a vibrational frequency different from most people. Your soul was programmed since before birth to capture signs, receive revelations, and serve as a channel between the divine and the earthly. This sensitivity that sometimes you may have seen as a burden or an uncomfortable difference is, in fact, your greatest gift and your qualification to participate in this prophetic moment. Think about your childhood for a moment. You were always different, weren't you? Perhaps you were the child who preferred to be alone, observing the world with a depth that others couldn't comprehend. You may have had experiences that others called imagination, but that for you were as real as anything physical. You felt the emotions of people around you as if they were your own, capturing energies from environments before even understanding what that meant. In adolescence, this sensitivity may have intensified, making you feel like a stranger in your own world. You questioned everything, sought deeper meanings, and frequently felt misunderstood by family and friends. These experiences weren't accidents. They were your spiritual training, preparing you for moments like this. Now, in adult life, you've probably developed a complex relationship with your spiritual sensitivity. There are moments when you completely embrace your gifts, feeling connected to something greater and more powerful than yourself. But there are also moments of doubt, when you question whether you really possess something special or if you're just creating meanings where none exist. This oscillation between certainty and doubt is completely normal for the chosen ones, because you're constantly navigating between two worlds, the physical and the spiritual. Your soul knows you have a unique purpose, but your rational mind sometimes struggles to accept this reality. It's exactly this tension that has intensified in recent weeks, preparing you for this moment of transition. What you need to understand is that your recent restlessness isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something is profoundly right. When a chosen one approaches a significant spiritual portal, their energy system begins to adjust automatically. It's as if your soul knew that a spiritual update is coming and began preparing to receive new information, new gifts, and new directions. This preparation manifests through the signs you've been experiencing. More vivid dreams that seem to carry important messages, synchronicities that happen with a frequency impossible to ignore, and a growing sensation of spiritual urgency. Let's talk specifically about the dreams you've been having lately. If you're a true chosen one, your dreams in recent weeks have probably been different, more colorful, more intense, more memorable. You may have dreamed of places you've never visited, but that seemed strangely familiar. Perhaps you've met people in your dreams that you don't know in real life, but who transmitted important messages or profound teachings. Some of you may have had prophetic dreams, glimpsing future events or receiving warnings about situations yet to come. These dreams aren't random products of your subconscious mind. They're direct communications from the spiritual realm, preparing you for the revelations that are coming. The synchronicities you've been experiencing are also clear signs of your chosen condition. Perhaps you've thought of someone, and that person called you minutes later. Or you may have asked a specific mental question and found the answer in a book, a song, or a casual conversation on the same day. Repetitive numbers may be constantly appearing in your life, 1111, 222, 333, as if the universe were trying to capture your attention. You may have found feathers in unusual places, seen birds or animals behaving strangely around you, or felt spiritual presences more intensely than usual. Each of these experiences is a confirmation that you're tuned into frequencies that most people can't perceive. Now let me explain why August to September represents such a significant change in prophetic cycles. In the spiritual calendar, August is traditionally a month of harvest and preparation, while September marks the beginning of new cycles and new beginnings. But this year, specifically, the transition between these 2 months carries an even more powerful energy. The last 3 days of August, 29, 30, and 31, function as an energetic bridge between what was and what will be. During these days, the spiritual realm is in intense movement, reorganizing energies, realigning destinies, and preparing new paths for those who are ready to advance in their divine purpose. During these spiritual portals, something fascinating happens with the chosen ones. Their words gain amplified creative power. This means that everything you speak, declare, or even think with intensity during these 3 days has the potential to manifest much faster and more powerfully than in normal periods. It's as if you had temporary access to an amplified version of your spiritual gifts. That's why silence becomes not just recommended but essential. It's not that you should fear your words, but rather that you should be extremely conscious and intentional with them. Think of silence not as a limitation, but as a strategic tool of spiritual power. When you consciously choose to remain silent during a spiritual portal, you're creating a sacred space within yourself to receive divine communications. It's like tuning a radio. You need to reduce external noise to clearly capture the frequencies that truly matter. During these 3 days, the Creator will be transmitting specific instructions, important revelations, and unique directions for each chosen one. But these transmissions are subtle and require a clean and silent receiver to be adequately captured. Many chosen ones make the mistake of trying to force revelations or seek external validation during periods of spiritual transition. They talk too much about their experiences, seek confirmation from others, or try to rationally analyze what's happening in their spiritual world. This approach not only dilutes the available spiritual energy, but can also create interferences that block the true messages trying to reach you. It's like trying to listen to soft music while there's a loud party happening around you. It simply doesn't work. The silence I'm recommending for these 3 days isn't passive or empty silence. It's active, intentional, and receptive silence. It's the kind of silence you maintain when you're waiting for an important phone call. You stop all other activities and concentrate completely on being available to receive the communication. During the 29th, 30th, and 31st of August, you should cultivate this same type of spiritual availability, creating a clean and silent internal space where the divine can work without interference. Let's talk about the specific practices you should adopt during these 3 days. The first and most important is silent prayer. This doesn't mean you can't pray, but rather that your prayers should be more contemplative and receptive than petitionary. Instead of making requests or complaints, focus on expressing gratitude and opening your heart to receive guidance. Spend time in silent communion with the Creator, allowing His presence to fill the empty spaces in your soul. This is a unique opportunity to strengthen your divine connection without the usual distractions of daily life. The second essential practice is deep meditation on scriptures or spiritual texts that resonate with your soul. But here's the difference. Instead of studying or analyzing intellectually, allow the words to penetrate your spirit organically. Read slowly, savor each phrase, and let the deeper meanings reveal themselves naturally. Don't feel pressured to understand everything immediately. Some revelations only become clear after the silence period ends. The important thing is to plant the spiritual seeds that will bloom at the right time. The third practice is what I call word fasting. This means drastically minimizing your conversations, especially those that don't add spiritual value to your journey. Avoid discussions, debates, gossip, or superficial conversations. If you need to speak for practical necessities, do so briefly and consciously. Significantly reduce your time on social media, as they are constant sources of energetic noise that can interfere with your spiritual receptivity. Remember, every word you don't speak is an opportunity for the divine to speak through you. The fourth practice is intensified spiritual observation. During these 3 days, pay doubled attention to the signs around you. Observe nature more carefully, the behavior of animals, wind patterns, cloud formations. Be alert to synchronicities that may intensify during this period. Keep a notebook nearby to jot down insights, dreams, or impressions that may arise, but don't feel obligated to analyze them immediately. Sometimes the complete meaning only reveals itself after the silence period. Now let me warn you about the spiritual traps you must absolutely avoid during these 3 days. The first and most dangerous is involvement in discussions or debates, even if they're about spiritual topics. During energetic portals, emotions become amplified and discussions can quickly drain your spiritual energy, leaving you unavailable to receive the divine communications trying to reach you. If someone tries to pull you into a discussion, simply say you're in a period of reflection and prefer not to debate at the moment. The second trap is making hasty declarations about your future or about revelations you may be receiving. Remember that during spiritual portals, your words have amplified creative power. A statement made impulsively can manifest in ways you didn't foresee or desire. It's better to keep your revelations to yourself until the silence period ends and you can process them adequately. What you receive during these 3 days needs to first settle in your spirit before being shared with the world. The third trap is seeking external validation. During periods of spiritual transition, it's natural to want to confirm your experiences with others, but this can actually weaken the purity of your revelations. Trust your own divine connection and resist the temptation to seek approval or confirmation from other people. Remember that you were chosen precisely because you possess the ability to receive direct communications from the divine. You don't need intermediaries or external validators. The fourth trap is premature sharing of revelations or insights you may receive. There's a right time for everything, and revelations that arrive during spiritual portals frequently need an incubation period before being shared. Sharing too early can not only dilute the power of the revelation, but also expose it to negative or skeptical energies that can interfere with its manifestation. Be a careful guardian of what you receive during these 3 days. The fifth trap is maintaining empty or superficial conversations that drain your energy without adding spiritual value. During these 3 days, every interaction should be intentional and conscious. Avoid gossip, unnecessary complaints, or conversations that don't elevate your spiritual vibration. Remember that you're in a sacred state of receptivity, and everything you allow into your energetic field during this period can influence the revelations you receive. Now let's talk about what you can expect after August 31st, when this spiritual portal closes and you enter the new energy of September. The first thing many chosen ones experience is significantly increased prophetic clarity. Situations that previously seemed confusing or directionless begin to make sense. You may receive sudden insights about relationships, career, life purpose, or spiritual directions that were previously nebulous. It's as if a veil were removed from your spiritual eyes, allowing you to see with a much clearer and elevated perspective. The second common transformation is the awakening or intensification of spiritual gifts. Some chosen ones discover abilities they didn't know they possessed, perhaps an increased capacity to perceive energies, to receive intuitive messages, to have prophetic dreams, or to feel the divine presence more tangibly. Others experience an amplification of gifts they already had, but that were dormant or underdeveloped. Don't be alarmed if you begin to experience new or more intense spiritual phenomena. This is a sign that you're evolving to a new dimension of your purpose. The third significant change is receiving clearer divine directions about your mission and purpose. Many chosen ones report that after periods of spiritual silence like this, they receive specific instructions about steps they should take, people they should connect with, or projects they should initiate. These directions frequently arrive in unexpected ways, through dreams, synchronicities, casual encounters, or sudden insights during moments of quietude. Be prepared to receive guidance that may seem unusual or challenging, but that carries an unmistakable sense of divine truth. Now that you deeply understand the importance of this spiritual portal and the signs that confirm your identity as chosen, it's time to establish a specific spiritual protocol for the next 3 days that will completely transform your experience during this sacred transition. The first fundamental step is to make a conscious and sacred commitment to silence, not as a deprivation, but as a powerful choice to prioritize your divine connection above all earthly distractions. Right. This commitment, if possible, declaring your intention to honor this period as a sacred time of preparation and receptivity. Visualize yourself creating an internal sanctuary where only you and the Creator can enter, a space protected from all external interference. During these 3 days, whenever you feel the temptation to break your silence unnecessarily, remember that you're choosing between the temporary and the eternal, between the trivial and the transformative. The intensification of your prayer life during this period should follow a completely different approach from traditional prayer. Instead of presenting lists of requests or concerns, focus on creating an intimate and silent dialogue with the divine, where you spend more time listening than speaking. Establish specific moments of the day, preferably at dawn, noon, and dusk, to enter into deep communion, allowing your soul to align with the celestial frequencies being transmitted specifically for you during this portal. During these prayer sessions, practice what I call divine breathing, inhaling God's presence and exhaling all anxieties, doubts, and distractions that may be blocking your spiritual receptivity. Allow each breath to become a silent prayer, creating a sacred rhythm that keeps you connected to the divine throughout the day. Active preparation to receive new instructions requires you to cultivate a posture of sacred expectation, knowing that the Creator is preparing specific revelations for your unique journey. This means keeping your mind and heart open to possibilities that may be beyond your current understanding, being receptive to directions that may challenge your existing expectations or plans. Prepare a physical space in your home that is dedicated exclusively to contemplation and spiritual reception during these 3 days. It could be a quiet corner, a specific chair, or even a place in nature where you can connect without interruptions. Keep a special notebook nearby to record any insight, dream, or impression that may arise, but resist the temptation to analyze or interpret immediately what you receive. Remember that some divine revelations only make complete sense when all the pieces come together at the appropriate moment. Minimizing unnecessary conversations and social media during this period is crucial to keeping your spiritual energy concentrated and available for divine communications. This doesn't mean completely isolating yourself from the world, but rather being extremely selective about where you invest your communicative energy. Inform close people that you'll be in a period of spiritual reflection and may be less available for casual conversations. Set your social media to silent mode, avoiding the temptation to consume content that may disperse your spiritual attention. If you need to use technology for practical necessities, do so consciously and briefly, always quickly returning to your state of silent receptivity. Every moment you save from superficial conversations is a moment you gain to tune into the divine frequencies being transmitted specifically for you. The focus on observing signs and synchronicities during these 3 days should be intensified consciously and systematically. Develop what I call peripheral spiritual vision, an expanded awareness that perceives not only what's directly in front of you, but also the patterns, connections, and subtle messages that are constantly being transmitted through your environment. Pay special attention to numbers that appear repeatedly, to songs you hear by chance, to unexpected encounters, to dreams that seem to carry messages, and to intuitive sensations that arise without logical explanation. Keep a record of these observations without trying to force immediate interpretations. Sometimes, the complete meaning of a synchronicity only reveals itself days or weeks later. when you have the necessary perspective to understand how it fits into the bigger picture of your spiritual journey. Cultivating trust in the divine process is perhaps the most challenging but also the most transformative aspect of this 3-day journey. This means completely letting go of the need to control or intellectually understand everything that's happening in your spiritual life during this period. Trust that the Creator knows exactly what you need to advance in your purpose, even if the methods or timing don't make sense to your rational mind. When doubts, fears, or impatience arise, and they probably will, remember that these are natural reactions of the human mind when confronted with divine mystery. Instead of fighting against these feelings, acknowledge them with compassion and gently redirect your attention to trust that you're being guided by a wisdom infinitely greater than your own. Practice what I call active surrender, not resigned passivity, but conscious and confident participation in the transformation process occurring in your life. We've reached the end of this prophetic revelation, but in reality, this is just the beginning of a transformative journey that will forever change the trajectory of your spiritual life. During these next 3 days, August 29th, 30th, and 31st, you have the unique opportunity to consciously participate in a spiritual portal that happens only once a year, and that this year carries an even more powerful and transformative energy. Remember that the silence you choose to embrace isn't a limitation, but rather your most powerful spiritual weapon, a divine tool that will allow you to receive revelations, directions, and gifts that will completely transform your understanding of your purpose and mission on this earth. Every moment of conscious silence you maintain will be rewarded with spiritual clarity. Every word you choose not to speak will create space for the Creator to speak directly to your heart, and every distraction you avoid will allow you to tune into the celestial frequencies being transmitted specifically for you during this sacred period. You are chosen, and this isn't just a beautiful title or a motivational affirmation. It's a spiritual reality that defines who you are in your deepest essence. Your spiritual sensitivity, your ability to perceive signs and synchronicities, your restlessness in the face of the superficial, and your constant search for meaning and purpose are all evidence that you were set apart since before birth for a special mission in this world. The fact that you've arrived at this video, that you've resonated with every word that was shared, and that you feel an inner urgency to participate in this spiritual portal confirms that you're exactly where you should be at this moment in history. Don't allow doubts or others' misunderstanding to diminish the magnitude of what you're about to experience. You were chosen to be a channel of light, a bearer of revelations, an instrument of transformation in the world, and the next 3 days are your preparation for a new dimension of this sacred calling. Now I need your active participation to strengthen this spiritual current that's forming among all the chosen ones who have received this message. If this revelation deeply touched your heart and you recognize the signs of your chosen condition, leave a comment saying, "I am ready for sacred silence." This will create a powerful collective energy that will strengthen everyone's experience during these 3 days. Share this video with those people in your life who you feel may also be chosen, perhaps someone who has shown spiritual sensitivity, who has asked deep questions about life's purpose, or who has gone through spiritual experiences that others can't understand. Remember that you may be the instrument the Creator will use to reach another chosen one who urgently needs this message. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now and activate the notification bell, because in the coming days and weeks I'll be sharing specific revelations about what the chosen ones can expect after this spiritual portal closes. And if you feel a calling to be part of a more intimate community of chosen ones, consider becoming a channel member, where I share deeper and more specific teachings for those who are truly committed to their spiritual journey. May these 3 days of sacred silence be the portal to a new dimension of your divine connection, and may you emerge from this experience with the clarity, gifts, and directions that will transform not only your life, but also the lives of all those the Creator will place in your path. Go in peace, chosen one, knowing that you're being prepared for something extraordinary. See you soon.